We spoke with the president of the Budget Commission of the Departmental Duma to learn more about the approval of the budget addition project.
Unanimously, the deputies of the Assembly approved the draft ordinance of the 2021 budget for an addition for a value of 216,000 million pesos. In this way, the departmental government must execute each of the projects that were approved and studied by each of the secretaries of the local administration.
Una jornada ardua, como siempre le dije a la comunidad.
An arduous journey, as I always told the community, they must keep in mind that vote of confidence that we had from the Budget Committee, the message of tranquility that we give the great winner of this contest, since it became an internal contest in the study. But here, the great winner is the community. Thanks to God, the 216,000 million pesos were approved for the addition, which we are all going to enjoy. All the inhabitants of San Andres, islanders, residents, whatever connotation we have, we are all going to be benefited. Old Providence, Santa Catalina, and all its surroundings that are part of this archipelago.
The president of the commission also referred to the modification that was not approved in the study of this budget addition.
Que no se tuvo en cuenta las modificaciones por parte del gobierno.
The modifications were not considered by the government of all the requests that were made through the community and the deputies who participated in the study days. Among them is the money of the SAE and the resources of the SAE that we all know belongs to the Raizals, and also the specific resources for the Raizal community. The rapporteur did not take this into account, neither the other deputies. With all the humility in the world, as president, I requested and went to them because there were 6,000 million pesos that were going to be added to these initial resources to recover the houses that were destroyed by ETA and IOTA, and the resources that are approximately 10,000 million pesos that were for the recovery of the motorboats of our brothers in Old Providence.
With the approval of this budget addition, there are important projects such as the investment in the hospital to enable areas or rooms that are essential for the medical center. In the same way, there is construction of the Sports Coliseum in North End and the social component that is linked to investments in the agricultural and fisheries sector.
With a strong message, the police commander in the department, Maria Gomez, announced that the institution offers rewards for information that allows the identification, prosecution, and capture of 11 people with criminal acts in San Andres.
In order to attack criminal structures and stop criminal action in San Andres, the National Police in the Archipelago Department presented a poster bill with silhouettes with which it is expected to obtain effective information that allow the identification, prosecution, and capture of 11 people who have been committing crimes on the island.
Once again, we want to take out a poster of the criminals that at this moment are damaging our island. Here are some delinquents who, through their aliases, are trying in some sectors of the island to generate intimidation. They are almost reckless and are causing damage to our community. And that is why the invitation of the Police Command of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina is to help us identify them.
In the frontal fight against crime that affect the coexistence and citizen security of the inhabitants of the island, the National Police revealed that it offers rewards.
For our National Police, it is essential to get these people out of circulation who are causing harm to the community of San Andres, who are generating injuries, thefts, and actions that are outside the law and the norm with these criminal behaviors. In fact, the Departmental Command of San Andres, Old Providence, and Catalina is offering a reward to those who help us identify them.
In addition to this announcement, the police commander in the department, Maria Elena Gomez, gave a summary of public safety which includes a homicide during the month of August and the capture of the person responsible for it. She also reported 8 arrests by court order for crimes such as carrying and trafficking of weapons, theft, and domestic violence, in addition to the apprehension of 6 minors between 15 and 16 years of age for cases of personal injury and theft.
The President of the Republic referred to the reason for the postponement of this week's meeting of the Foreign Ministry to discuss the defense of the country before the Court of The Hague in the context of the conflict with Nicaragua.
President Iván Duque referred to the unsuccessful convocation of the Foreign Relations Advisory Commission, made up mainly of former presidents of the Republic who did not attend the meeting to discuss the country's defense in the face of Nicaragua's accusation against the International Court of Justice in The Hague.
Hay que seguir perseverando. Yo creo que estas herramientas que están creadas We must continue to persevere. I believe that these tools that are created in the law will continue to be used when considered it necessary. So we do not want to give greater importance to that, and we will continue to convene and look for a new date to do. And obviously, the objective above all is to inform about the public hearings that will take place in The Hague. Our interest was to communicate, and we will be informing the public opinion through the agents and the Chancellery about our lines of defense.
Teleislas News will be attentive to the hearings that will take place on September 20, 22, 24, 27, and 29 at the International Court of Justice in The Hague, which seeks to establish the maritime boundaries between Colombia and Nicaragua.
And in order to provide support to taxpayers, the departmental government establishes tax benefits to improve the economy of households, landowners, merchants, and vehicle owners of the island of San Andres.
Starting this September, taxpayers will be able to make use of the tax relief for the payment of their taxes, which will have a discount of the 90%, 80%, and 70%. This was announced by the Secretary of Finance.
For property taxes with 90% discount from September 1st to October 31st, for 80% from November 1st to November 30th. Each person who made a payment agreement or have an agreement paid can make a new agreement only until December 15th and can pay the total amount owed discounting these interests. And depending on the date, you will be benefited of 90% or 80%. You can make a payment agreement of 1, 2, or 3 installments, but it must be paid before December 15th, as you agreed with the departmental government. Otherwise, everything goes back to normal to the same debt you currently have. The idea is that the community takes advantage of this for property tax. There are also discounts for industry and commerce, registration notices and announcement, billboards, and for more motor vehicle tax.
This measure is given after the approval of the Draft Ordinance 023 that established the recovery of the overdue portfolios granted discount to delinquent taxpayers on interest and penalties.
And as Teleislas News had already reported, the Viceminister of Health, Luis Alexander Moscoso, is visiting the island to inspect the health situation in the department. Some meetings have already been held, among them one with the Raisa leaders, in which they agreed that children can attend religious services once again.
During his visit to the island and in the meetings that have already taken place, the Vice Minister of Health has highlighted his satisfaction with the progress of the vaccination campaigns against COVID-19. 16% of the population has been immunized and the results have been evident. In recent months, the reduction in deaths from the virus has been very noticeable, as well as in the number of people hospitalized for COVID. However, he is still concerned about the 40% of people who refuse to take the dose.
Today we have the Delta variant circulating in our country, which is the cause in Europe and the United States of an increase in the number of cases and very high percentage of deaths. What is the characteristic of the population that are in ICU or that are losing their lives? They are not vaccinated. In San Andres, we have important coverage rates. About 60% of the population is already vaccinated, but there are still 40% that are not immunized.
Moscoso states that there are 15% of people of legal age who have not been vaccinated, and that is the reason why he invites the community of 12 years old and older to get vaccinated and not to take risks with the Delta variant that is already in the country. Also, during the meetings with the religious leaders of the island, permission was given for children to attend church services on the island. Pastor Javier Massa, who is also the director of the Student Crusade on the island, gave a statement.
It was fabulous because they already gave us the endorsement to be able to open completely. They told us that with the biosecurity protocols, we could completely open the doors of the congregations and temples. The concern about the children was also addressed. Obviously, with their family, they will be able to attend. And especially, we want to invite people to get vaccinated, to continue with the vaccination.
This comes after the total opening of the island activities due to the large percentage of population that has been vaccinated and completed their vaccination schedule.
After taking over the management of the Departmental S.A. Hospital of San Andres, Teleislas News spoke with Dr. Maria Claudia Bracho about the main challenges in assuming this position.
Dr. Maria Claudia Bracho began her tenure as the new manager of the Departmental ESE Hospital of St. Andres, Providence, and St. Catalina, focusing on the transcendental issue for the operation of the hospital, which was put on the table during a meeting held today with the Viceminister of Health, Luis Alexander Moscoso.
Con el Viceministro de Salud.
With the Vice Minister of Health, we reviewed commitments that were established from the beginning of the program. We reviewed issues of economic stability, invoicing, income, and at the same time, we assumed additional commitments in order to continue working. We also made additional commitments to continue working to stabilize the operation in terms of production of services, new services, billing, and revenues.
In this regard, the manager indicated that true maintenance of the facilities is a priority in order to preserve the hospital infrastructure.
We received the news of the budget addition, which is very important for the social state enterprise, since the Hospital of San Andres has not received investment in infrastructure since it was created. And this injection of capital will be very important to be able to put the infrastructure on its feet as it should be in order to better serve the users.
On the other hand, Bracho affirmed that she will give continuity to the management she started a few months ago as a manager in charge, with priority being given to the patients and the welfare of the personnel working at the medical center.
Their employment is on a permanent basis. At this moment, their social benefits and salaries are completely covered. This is a priority to give them a guarantee regarding the remuneration for their services, since they are an important asset for the operation of the social state company. Therefore, they are an essential foundation to provide health services to the community.
The business administrator, a specialist in public management, concluded that based on her extensive experience in public sector and specifically in the health sector, she will focus her mission on establishing definitive process to achieve a financially viability hospital as well as in the quality of service to users.
The additional measles and rubella vaccine will be applied until September 1st, and according to the Health Secretariat, the goal has not been achieved. For this reason, parents are invited to be attentive to the application of this dose.
About 5,680 children from 1 to 11 years of age have been vaccinated against measles and rubella in the department. Just a little more of the half for the application goal to be reached. The Health Secretariat emphasized that this is an additional dose. That is to say that even if the child has a complete vaccination schedule, he or she should be vaccinated.
Maybe the child have his schedule complete, but this is a additional dose that we are giving to the children between 1 till 11 years, so that they can be protected against these two sicknesses. We know that with this pandemic that passed now, and we're going to receive all kind of tourists and people from other places. We have places that surround San Andres and also Colombia that have presented measles, and so we are trying to have these population, this group of children from 1 till 11 years protected, because those are the group that are susceptible. They have more risk to acquire these sickness, so we are trying to give this dose to all of them between 1 through 11 years.
The vaccination points are still available. The EPSA, National Police, the Departmental Hospital. Also, it is emphasized that vaccination campaigns are being done in the sectors of the island. This Saturday, it will be held in the Cocal neighborhood, and on September 11 in Simpson Well, so that the community may be attentive.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. The 7 Color Sea skating tournament left fans and the participants very happy. Definitely, skating is a growing sport in our insular department. It filled and pleased the fans who attended the Erwin O'Neill Football Stadium, where the National Invitational Tournament Sea of 7 Colors was held. Which left satisfied skaters and fans.
The importance for me for the children them is the development in the sport, because for real, we have plenty of children in the island who practice for the skating. And well, it's very important because we got plenty of participants from outside. So it's very good for the island, and it would be plenty better if we have the patinodromo, where what the children they need to grow more yet.
Definitely another sport that has produced figures such as Pedro Causil in skating needs a better venue to practice it, since it benefits the archipelago in terms of tourism, economy, and sports. The Caribbean Storm basketball team continues its training for the next representation in the professional Colombian basketball tournament. The Argentinian coach of the Caribbean Storm is happy with the group of island basketball players who continue their training, looking to be in optimal conditions to face the next Colombian professional basketball bubble tournament that will be held here in San Andres, starting on the next October. This is what the Argentinian coach told us.
The truth is that I'm very happy. I have found a great response from the players. I came with another idea and another image. The truth is, it is very nice. We've had 17 or 18 players training, and as the weeks went by, I had to tell several of them to stop coming to continue raising the level of the practices. In the beginning, we had a lot of players, so we divided them into two groups. We are working with young people from 21 years old and under. We want to tell the people that we will have a high-level basketball on the island for a couple of months. So we are waiting for them to encourage the team to go to the island and wish us luck. We will need it, and we will need it a lot.
We must support the island basketball in the next professional tournament to be held here in San Andres, where the best players in Colombia and a range of foreign players will be exposed a high level of this tournament.